Okay, well, hello, welcome everybody on this today training about social media, how to brand yourself. This is a really key training. In fact, this is it's a basic training and probably the most important for you to understand if you really want to become a professional out there and really have a professional brand created. Because it's not about, Utopian Global is already a brand. You got to build your own brand. You build your own brand. You're not becoming the brand of Utopian Global. No, you build your own brand because people, they are attracted to you in first and foremost place, to you. So you need to, of course, have a right profile in order to do so. And we don't have dogs or cats or whatever Facebook profiles, even though we love dogs, I love cats. So, but we just can't do that to be professional, okay? All right, well, with that, I'm gonna introduce Sean to you. So Sean from the UK, well, actually from South Africa, but he's doing this wonderful trainings with us together about social media because he really has a clue and understands a lot, works in IT, and is helping all of us getting smarter so that we don't have to necessarily work harder, but smarter. So Sean, great to have you here.
Thank you, Claudia, and welcome to everyone. Thanks for being on the call this evening. So I'll try and go a little bit slower because South Africans tend to run away with the English language. So we're going to talk a little bit about personal branding. We've got a little bit of a workbook here as well. The important bit about personal branding is we need to create the image about ourselves. And why would we be doing that? That's mainly because human beings perceive a lot of things in life with the visuals, with the eyes. What they see, if they like what they see, they'll go back. And then once they see something that's nice, then they'll go and listen afterwards. So they make use of the senses because social media doesn't have audio necessarily straight away on your profile. It's how your profile is presented to other people. So how to use this workbook. So we're going to learn what personal branding is, why it's important, and then create your personal brand story and a plan for how to communicate. Now, when we don't go out in the market and sell ourselves. If you look at all the big brand names like Eric War, Randy Gage, you look at their Facebook profiles, they don't sell, they tell a story. This whole purpose of the personal branding from where they started to where they are today. So you're going to start doing the same thing with your personal branding. Start telling a story where it was, what your business is doing for yourself, where you see yourself in the future, your goals as well. It's part of your personal story. So what is your personal brand? Simply put, your personal brand is for other people to see you. Everything from your skills, your expertise, your achievements, and the ways you present yourself. Whether you're online or offline, we already have a personal brand. You already have that personal brand in your own mind of what you want to look like when you start talking to other people when you're on social media or when you network offline. The key is to make sure that your brand represents you the way you want. Now we're going to look a little bit more deeper as we go into the little workbook, why it's important to see how we're going to look at ourselves. I think going a little bit faster, Claudia.
Oh, so did I go too fast?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm too fast. Yeah, I'm a fast.
Why is your personal brand important? Your personal brand is important because it differentiates you and it helps it stand out from the crowd. Now, if you look at most people on Facebook and you look at all their profiles, everybody shares the same post or somebody creates something that all created it so it looks exactly the same. And it becomes boring. And that's when people go on their phones and they just keep scrolling by and they just, sometimes they give you a like, sometimes they just scroll by because you look the same. I like to say people camouflage themselves in between the same stuff that's on there. So when you market online, you need to stand out. You need to look different. You have the intention about your personal brand. It attracts the right audience and opportunity and people and that you need to know. So the audience is important because you want to attract the right people. I like to use the phrase, my tribe is my vibe. So I want to pull people into what my vibe is, what my personal brand and my business is in, the way I think. So if I attract the same audience that thinks similar to me, Will they join my business in the future? The possibility is going to be much higher because they already start thinking like me, they have the same vision and similar views. So this is very important to put that out there. Create your personal brand story and create a communication plan to share your brand. Want to move on to the next one, Claudia?
Mm-hmm.
So one again, so we're going to look at how to create your personal brand story. So there's a part one, which is all about you. So where is your personal brand story right now? So the first thing is, how do I establish where my brand story, my personal brand is at this point in time? So you have already your Facebook, your personal profile on Facebook, and you already start posting on it. You know there's people on Facebook with your friends. Go back to these people and ask them questions. Do you like the post I do put on Facebook? Do you understand the post I put on Facebook? Try and get information because we live in an information age. Because once you gather that information, it's going to be helping you building a better story, a personal brand story. And also because if people say, oh, I don't like that kind of post, or that didn't make sense to me, you know that you can improve on that skills or maybe change the post so people like it, so you can attract the tribe to your vibe. So ask the people you trust what they think about it and collect the words that describe you. So what I would say is get yourself a notebook. I tend to have a little notebook lying around here somewhere in my messy desk where I write certain things down. But don't just write boring words down. Just don't say a word that describes me as online entrepreneur or online marketer. That's old school, that's boring. People are going to get bored of it because there's so many people call themselves online marketers or network marketers. You're a leverage sales guru. Change the words. You're a bullion saver expert. You change the word. Play on the word. Wordplay is important because the more exciting the words look, the more people are wondering, what is Richie talking about? And if they go back and ask him, what is he talking about? He's a bullion saver expert. How do I do that? What can I do to become like that? So wordplay is very important when you start building your story as well. And your personal brand story is also part of your story to tell to others. Where did you come from? Why did you join this business? Or why did you look into this business? What has this business changed for you? And where do you see yourself in the future with this? It's part of your business personal branding. So this is your first part of your questions. What attributes do you want from your brand? So what do you want from the brand? What do you want the brand to achieve? The patterns that needs to emerge on your Facebook profile. So obviously most people say, I want to attract a lot of people. You need to be much more specific on that because you can attract a lot of people, but they might not be the right people. So modify your words so you can attract the right people. What's the attributes that you want? What do you want for your Facebook profile? Do you want to have just things constantly about gold, or do you want to talk a little bit about your personal life? Do you have a bit of a sense of humor that you want to put in your personal profile? Because remember, we work with human beings, and human beings like to have sometimes a bit of fun. So posting something about something that's really funny, that attracts people. Something about your personal life for the day. And my personal post on my Facebook, if I go walking and I walk in East London next to the canals and I take pictures of the canals, 3 or 4 pictures, and I post it on Facebook, people go mad in liking it. Not just liking it, they give me hearts and care buttons. All those buttons happen on those pictures because people can see, oh, Sean is a real person. He actually goes walking. He's not just a person who's online who just keeps sharing constantly about his business. He's also have a passion for exercise, enjoying the great views of nature. Do you want to move on to the next one? So we want to move on to who is your audience? Who do you want to attract? Who do you want to serve? So as an entrepreneur in any type of business, not just in leverage sales or if you have a bricks and mortar business, as an entrepreneur, you focusing on solutions, delivering solutions to people. And you need to attract people that want to look for that solution that you have. Now, for the people in the US, we have gold and silver. We have a new product coming out that's going to help people on the credit side. You're going to have a solution for people on that side. Don't use boring words when you put your products and talk about gold or silver. Use exciting words. If you struggle with exciting words, go to Google. Look at the dictionary, the Webster dictionaries on the internet as well. Look at what other of the big name marketing guys are doing, like Tony Robbins. Todd, what is Todd's surname? I've got his surname now. Claudia, you might know.
Yeah, you mean Richard Branson?
Falcone.
Oh yeah, okay, the fearless networker, yes.
Yeah, if you go and have a look at the way he uses words, his words is exciting, it attracts people. That's why they have all those people coming in. They're not selling products, they're selling themselves. Because once people buy into them, people will trust the product. Because you're the bridge, the connection between the product and a person who needs to come into the business to join you. People will trust the product because gold has been around a long time. But do they trust you to give them the right information? Do they trust you to like you enough to come to you to say, I want to do business with you, or tell me a bit more about your business? So you are the bridge, the connection. So be very careful how to attract your audience as well. What does your audience need? So what I'd like to do sometimes, I go to some people and say, right, in my post, can you give me a bit of feedback back on that post? Because that post, I especially look at posts of what I post, which does not get a lot of attraction or nobody liked it. Why do people not like it? So I go back to find out what my audience really need. So once you have that information, then you can move on and start building a better blog post, live videos, talk a bit about it on a video about a specific topic. People love live videos. Want to move on to the next slide? So what is your brand mission? What is your mission in your Facebook profile? What do you want to attract? Now, you have the attributes that you want for your brand. You understand this, what the specific audience is. It's time for you to pull it all together and build a brand mission. Well, how do I write a brand mission? There's a couple of examples down here. So you need to write something. If you're a lady, you can say I'm a feminine kind, because a woman in the tech needs to know how they not alone in all the specific business that you're in there. I just want to read my one out, which I have on my Facebook, which is sort of my intro.
You wanna share the screen on your Facebook?
Yeah, I can share it because I just put a small intro on my Facebook. Also, just a small sentence. I mean, just share it just to show people.
Yeah, I'm gonna just. You can actually share the screen, I believe.
I was just able to share screen.
This new Zoom make host. Okay, I have to make you host. Okay, now you can share your screen.
That one there, Facebook. Now this is, I'm still working on this a bit, but can you see Facebook?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so my intro here, I've changed my intro a little bit today. I'm still playing on the wordplay on it because it needs to be changed. And you only have a certain short characters, because when people go to Facebook, they look at your picture, you have a nice bright picture on here, and this type of pictures you can create on Canva. This is what I've done. But also the next thing they're going to look is, what is the intro? What are you all about? So I'll put down at the moment, which I'm still working on. I'm going to make a few more changes. Helping entrepreneurs and ordinary folk to save an income-producing assets. Stronger and better health. So also do health. As you can see, there's an exercise bike behind me. So I like to encourage people to not just to build wealth, but also to stay fit and healthy as well. So, but I need to, I can still play a bit more on the words on here. But this is the first things people are going to look at. The picture here, they're going to look at that. They're going to look at your intro, and they're going to look at your post. And as you can see, this post here, there's 10 or more people who like that. This one, which I shared, I was expecting, because it's quite a nice video one, just a random post. I thought that would share quite well. But my personal stuff does. But I do have my personal brand as well. And I've actually put my personal brand on. For you, if you don't have a personal brand, get yourself a t-shirt of Utopian Global. Make yourself a cup with Utopian Global logo on. It's not that expensive to do. You just need one or two of those. And you can, when you go out walking with a store t-shirt or a Utopian Global t-shirt or something with a gold bar and Utopian Global underneath it, and you take a picture, people can see that's your brand. Or you can say gold entrepreneur or a gold guru or something, just play on words. And this is what I tend to do because it attracts people back to my brand on here. And also, if you do webinars like tonight and you're on a Zoom and you see the screen, take a screenshot of it and post it and write something on top of that stands a little bit out and post it on, because it's going to attract other people. Why is this person on the Zoom? What they're doing on the Zoom? What they're talking about?
And exactly, and can you just go up again to this? And in this picture, I just want to add there, as you see there, what Sahir posted there. He doesn't mention Utopian Global. We don't want to mention that. He doesn't mention particularly the name of the CEO or my name as well, because he wants to make people curious.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's glad to say, you tag people in. This is what tagging is. Now, to tag somebody into a post, if I go up to the top, just to show people. So if I go in, create a new post, all you have to do is do the @ sign. And I can just type in here. And I can tag Claudia in, and I can write something about a post. And that means once it's tagged in, it will also come up on Claudia's feed. And then Claudia can add it to a Facebook feed, and her audience can see the same post. Because I'm referencing her for joining onto the meeting. That's exactly what Zahir has done down here, which is great, because now he's tagged me in here as well, and I added on here. And other people, not just from his Facebook profile, but also from my Facebook profile, can see the specific post. People can come back to me and ask me questions about it. They can go back to Sahir and ask him questions about it. So this is all about part of your personal branding. So if we just go back to the slides, Claudia.
Yeah. Now, let's just go with your slide. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I'll bring the slide up. Sorry.
Because I can't.
I'll just find the right page where we were.
We were on the Create Your Personal Brand Story, part 3.
Yep. I've got too many screens, and every time I click, it goes in different directions.
Or you allow me to be host again.
No, that's all right. I've got it. You can see the screen?
Yep.
Okay, so what is your mission? What is your brand? Write something out, add it also into your intro, onto Facebook, shorten it a bit, keep it nice and short within that barrier so it stands out. It's also very good. You can use a similar type of thing if you have a LinkedIn profile. You can copy the same description into your LinkedIn profile. And there's a couple of tips in here. We can share the document out afterwards as well. So communication plan. Now, we do normally do a communication training where you learn how to talk to people, but it's also important to communicate when you're on Facebook. So you have a long bio and a short bio. There's also sort of when you have your intro that you create, or on you can have a short bio built into that as well. But your long bio is who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, what you where you're planning to go, and what you want to achieve. But as I say, play on words. Do not use boring words in your bio. If you say, for instance, I'm an entrepreneur, that's boring. I'm a leverage sales guru. You're just going to say, what is leverage sales? Because most people are not going to know what leverage sales is. Are familiar with network marketers or affiliate marketers. Leverage sales is not used a lot. So I'm a leverage sales guru. Fantastic father of 2 girls. I've have a vision of helping people wants to be helped. Build a nice long bio out and write it out into. Don't make like 300 words or something. It's too much. Stick to like 200 words for a nice long bio, and then shorten it down to about 100 words for a short bio as well. You can get some tips on here as well on the document, which we can share out.
Excuse me, these pages, I'm sorry, but these pages will be in a file that we can download?
Yeah, it will be
in a PDF file.
Yeah, we'll put it to you in the affiliate group, and you can download it from there as well, because it's important to have a copy so you can follow what the plan is to build your own personal brand.
Thank you.
Okay, create your communication plan, create visual identity, because as I say, social media is all about visual. Before people read the post, they look at what picture is below, what color is the post in, because that is what attracts the eye. If it's attractive for the eye, the mind will read it and consume it, basically. So in addition of making sure that your content you share and create it with your personal mission and branding in mind, and you will create consistent visual identity so people can recognize you across different platforms. Now, what I tend to do is my Facebook banner that you just saw on Facebook, I use the same one on my LinkedIn. Because if people are on LinkedIn and they look for Sean Skuma, they're going to see the same one, but the same people might have a Facebook profile and look me up. Oh, it's exactly the same. My brand is following across everything. And we're going to talk a little bit about color in a minute as well, because color is important to select for yourself for a brand. Now, select your personal headshot. Now, it's important to have a headshot of your face. Don't take a full body shot for your profile, because as soon as you take a full body shot, the picture zooms out and people can't really see your face. If you just have a nice clear picture of yourself, you will see that people will look and find you as a friend much easier, because you look much friendlier. For me, my face is shaved on my picture, because I look much nicer when I'm shaven. This is my COVID-19 beard for the time being. So I have a nice clean shot, nice t-shirt. I won't put a t-shirt like this. I'm going to do a headshot or anything. I will not put a collar shirt on or something like that, because I want to look professional in my picture. I want to attract people like me to come in there. People need to see you're professional. You can't call yourself a leverage sales guru and you sit in a tank top on a beach. How can you be a leverage sales guru? You don't look professional. You look like somebody going to scam and take my money. So you need to look yourself a nice collar shirt, or make yourself look nice for your headshot. It's important. So we're going to talk about consider your color scheme and fonts. Now, this is very important on social media. I've done it already. I've gone onto Google and I looked for a few websites for what is called color palettes. And select yourself 3 or 4 colors, which you will use as your base colors for your business. Because, as I said, if people are visual, once on social media and you have brand colors and you do your post in that specific colors, people recognize your post as your brand. And also fonts. So if you do type something on a letter or emails and stuff like that, you can select different fonts, especially if you make use of Canva. And I'll show my Canva screen in a minute to you as well, just to show you what I mean. So if I go back over onto here, can you see Canva or Google?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go into Canva. I'm going to show you what I mean on Canva. I love Canva. It's a free tool you can download on your mobile phone. Now I've got the pro version of it. If you want to go for the brand pro version, it's good. Already in Canva, because of the pro version, I can go into the branding kit and set up my color schemes for myself.
Yeah.
So this is my colors. This is my logo that I use for my brand. And I've got my fonts as well uploaded in here. If you do have a free version of Canva and you do not have the branding kit, don't worry about it. You can still go on here and all you have to do is look for color color palette creator. You just go and Google. This is what I've done basically. So there's a few of these websites out there which can generate color palettes for you. And I do encourage everyone to learn a little bit about Canva. Play around with Canva. In the beginning, when you start, don't worry too much about getting it to look like a professional, because you're just new. Find something out what you like and create it and test it. You can always delete it if it's not good. So this is a color palette generator. I'll add a couple of these links into the post as well afterwards. And you can create different colors on these ones. You can change adjust the color palette to different colors. And you see these numbers on here. This is different color numbers that you use in Canva. So if I go, for instance, in my Canva in here, and I go to recommended design for me, let's just look at the design, Facebook post. So this is my blank Canva post on here. Let's wait for the internet to load. So I click on the white area in Canva, and if I say go to the color box here, Canva will have the different strategies on here for you, but you can add additional palettes on here as well. So you can just click on that. Oh, that's actually to my branding, sorry. You can click on, it's a new color here, new color. You see where it's got the hash, and if that just makes it the white color. Now on the color palette on here, if I take these numbers on here, and I can basically take what I can remember, 297373, and if I just type in here 297373, that's the color for my color palette, which is this color here in the middle. So now I've got to create my post, and I do all my post backgrounds or my text. If I have a picture on it and I can do my text in it, I can have my text on that. So because when you create a brand, look at UtopianGlobal. What is the colors of UtopianGlobal? We know it's got a golden color in, it's got a white color in, it's got a black color in. That's the brand. That's part of the brand identity. So when you create your own personal brand, you have to mimic the same thing as what any other brand creator does. Look at Nike. Nike's got just a little white tick, and all they do is the tick is the same shade, and they just change the color of that tick to fit with the shoe or for the styling what it is. Coca-Cola is red and white, or silver and white, or gold and white, and each color represents a different type of Coca-Cola, different flavor. And the standard Coke hasn't changed. It's always been red and white. And as people see it, doesn't matter where they are in the world, they're going to know that's Coca-Cola when they see it. It's the same what you have to do with your own brand. So we're going to have to look at how to create a color palette, play around with the colors in here, and all you can do is you just use the different sliding, and you can see how the colors change at the bottom. Select colors that you like, because later on, if you do decide to create your blog, you can convert your blog into the same colors as your brand that you created. I've done some training around how to set up Google Blogger. You can change your Google Blogger into the same colors as what you create for your brand, because when people find you on Google Blogger, they can see, hang on, that's the same colors, the same patterns, the same font as what Reggie used on Facebook in his post. So it must be the right person I follow. It's not just a random person. Also, the same thing, you can just look on here for what we call this font creators. Google's got so many free tools on it. You just have to go on and play on it. So just look for font generator and look for different styles that will fit your business. And you can see the fonts are in here. Oops, accept. Even in Canva, you don't have to use these fonts. Canva have built-in fonts already that you can select, which is in the text area, and you can just add the text in, and you can just go on top and is it in the fonts is up here, just drop down there, and they've got a whole range of fonts as well. Now, if you do post in Canva and you do create an image for yourself, try and use the same font over and over. Don't you change the font, because your font becomes your brand name. It's like your signature on your post. I'll make a little video as well for people how to use Canva and get a bit more training on how to use it. It's a really cool tool for people to add and building that brand. So this is just to give you a bit of idea how to consider color scheme and fonts. Now think about color as well. I personally won't go for like bright red, because in most parts in the world, bright red means whoa, danger, you know, or really bright yellow. So, except for China, yeah, China, that's good, but for the West, it's like whoa. If
you want to attract the Asian market, you go for yellow and you go for gold.
And yellow and gold.
Yellow, gold, and I mean yellow, gold, and red, of course.
So it's for fine colors that's sort of popular out there, and look at other brands out there as well. If you struggle, you can go to, for instance, the st.com. We sell household brands, and you can look at the different color schemes they use on there as well. It looks professional, because you want to look professional. Find colors that look professional as well. So that's quite important to look at and create standard fonts and stuff. And don't get too worried if you don't get it right at the beginning. It takes time to build it up and get confident with this. So update your online profiles. So we need to take stock of our digital presence. So we need to update our personal profiles. If you have a profile on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, any of these social medias, try and have your brand all over. If you look at me on Medium, you'll see my brand is exactly the same as what it is on Facebook. It's exactly the same as it is on Instagram. It's exactly the same as it is on Twitter. Create yourself a little logo. Well, yeah, if you want to create a nice little logo, if you go to fiverr.com, it's going to cost you about $5, $10, and you can get somebody professional to design a little logo for you. You can have RK with a nice little crown over it, which is Reggie King, and it fits quite nice. And you can get it done for like $10 at fiverr.com.
And if you want to have a real professional, you go to 99 Designs.
Oh, 99 Designs as well. That's really professional. There's a few places, Fiverr, freelance.com. There's a few places I can recommend people to do. I've got a lady I can recommend as well, which does some logo designs for me. She's in New York. And once you have your logo and you put your logo on all your posts, you start branding your post. Especially on Canva, you can put your logo nicely in the corner on a post and take that Canva picture or your quote and post it on your Facebook profile. Let me just show you what I mean. I'll leave this page. I'm going to just find my fan page. Oh, come on, Facebook. Oh, come on. I'm going to scroll. I'll share it in a second. I just want to get to the right place. Oops. So this is on my fan page. And this is one of my posts because the Well Business Club is my brand. And when people see that, they know this is to do with me. And there's a little bit of plastic because I'm promoting Storia. But I've got a little thing about Storia. We have a collaboration agreement with Ocean Cleaners, and I always put my brand name down on my post. On every single post, you can have a logo on it, or you can have your brand name. This is important to have it on because if somebody shares your post and they really like it, and you do not have your brand name on or your logo on, nobody's going to come back to you to join your business or say, oh, that's great. They're going to go back to the person who shared it. But if you put your logo on it or your brand name on your post and you share it out via Canva, instead of making use of Facebook, other people share it out, your brand name automatically gets spread wider as well.
And then also shown right in Canva. So when you go, I don't know if you can go back to Canva. So when you create your post, for example, then on the top hand side you can actually name your post. So when you name your post and you download it then and you then put it out, they can then later in the internet, when somebody shares your post or whatsoever, they can it can be traced back to what name you named your post. Correct?
Yeah. So you can go and you can add notes in it as well. You can, for instance,
on top of it, where you say at the heading, at the heading.
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, I haven't created a heading on here, but it's
yeah, I know. Let's say this is
page title. This is it.
Let's say this is your post you're going to put on top of where you see add heading. You see on top on the.
Oh yeah, on that. Yeah, that's just for the file. But what is important? They'll come back if you create. It works fine if you create only one post in Canva. But what I do in Canva, for instance, is a little button. I like to sit on a Saturday night and I create 10 posts for the week. And I'll show you some of the stuff I've done in Canva. If I go home, come on, internet. I need a faster hamster. I can run the wheel faster. If I go in, I'm looking for where's my audio designs. So I've got quite a few I do. So for instance, on here. So you can rename you can create the whole range of quotes. For instance, here I put myself and a friend of mine on a picture, and I put a Bob Proctor quote on here, and I have another Bob Proctor quote here. But when you download it, even if you're not changing the name, it will just change the folder which it downloads into that name. But always make sure when you go onto Facebook that you rename the picture to your brand name, because anything like you upload into social media on YouTube and Facebook or LinkedIn, doesn't matter if it's a video, a picture, or anything, always download it, save it to your computer, save it on your phone, rename the file name to your name or to your brand name, then upload it. Because once you upload it, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, they use the file name as a keyword, a search word. So if people go onto Google and they search for it, they will find it on this. If I go on to here and I type in just find all our websites on here. You can see my LinkedIn profile because all links into the YouTube channel, everything links onto that. All the images that's uploaded on my brand name appears as well. And if people suddenly go and click on videos, they'll see all the videos because I always use my brand name inside my file name as well. So that just ranks better in that respect as well. So that's quite important. So I do say in here, create your personal website. As I said, we did go through some training on how to create a personal blog on Blogger. This is not compulsory, it's not needed. If you do not want to do it, it's optional. It's a great way of building extra presence on the internet. It's also a great way of attracting other people and organic searches. And it's also a good way to establish a brand. Something you can start playing around with, getting something ready, and maybe in a year's time or 6 months' time or a month's time, you'll be able to build your blog or your website out from there. That's not recommended. At the moment, focus on your social media, getting that brand spot on, and make sure it's basically reflects on all these type of social media platforms. Create and curate content. Part of your personal brand is always to communicate with your audience and the kind of content you share. So content includes posts on social media, articles you share, and more. Now, when you share an article, don't just go randomly and share something from Forbes and stuff. You can actually go and in Facebook and look at. Let me drag this over in here. We can type in here plastic pollution, just for instance, for plastic. If you want to write something about plastic because you're around store, you can go and look at other fan pages. Climate changes. People in climate change groups, that's a good people who I will attract for store. If you want to go for gold, you can write about bullion bullion money, for instance. Just look at that. There's a fan page on there that doesn't have a lot of likes. I like to spend a little bit of time on it. I try and find somewhere where it's got nice posts on it. You see, there's me on it. A few places you see Bill Wilmot. So there's a fan page with 4 likes. Maybe it's good to have a look at Mike Maloney or James Ricard's fan page and see what people like a lot on their fan pages. And if they have an article they share that people like, share it on your personal profile as well about gold. So if you go to James Ricard,
Or Gold Telegraph is also good.
That as well. I couldn't think of all of it.
Yeah, Gold Telegraph. I like, or of course, Sprott. You can go to Sprott as well, Eric Sprott. You know, but I mean, I like very much Gold Telegraph. They do good things.
So, and yeah, I'll go, for instance, on James, will be on here now. So I look at what he posted, and I won't share this on my page, on my personal page, because this article, the picture didn't load. So it's not going to attract people on my fan page. We know who this guy is. You and me, Claudia. I don't know if the guest knows.
Oh yeah, that's of course Alex. I think Dr. Alex Danzig. I think Alex.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a nice video post on here, and I see some people have left some 52 people sort of looked at it. So if you do talk about it, this is quite a quiet video that you can share. It loads properly. You can actually share. You don't have to share it straight from in here. You can copy the link and post, or you can share the post from his fan page onto your post. And what you can do is follow his fan page, and also when you share it, tag the fan page in. Because sometimes the administrators of the fan page will come back and like your post. So I follow a music guy. I shared his post and I tag him in. And he came, whoever is administrator on his fan page came on his fan page like my post I shared. Obviously, the people now, hang on, he's a famous guy. His fan page liked the post on Sean's feed. So do the same thing when you tag in. Make sure you follow the page, share the page from another influencer onto yours. And when you share it, and you say share, you can say something, a great post by from James Ricard, and make sure you put the @ sign and put his name in there, and then post it on your feed as well. And that way, as I said, the administrators might like it. People from his fan page can see, okay, somebody shared it. Who shared it, and why? Who's the person who shared the video? See, there's 15 shares. You can just hover over it, and you can look who shared it. And eventually, if other people look at it, they can see your name in it. So that's why it's important to have. I won't put little things like that on my profile. I try to have my profile picture clear on it and stuff like that. So I sort of have. Maybe you can create your own brand one, like the first thingy there. But yeah, go in here and share and create your brand and follow your brand through everything you share, basically. So this is a couple of tips just for when you start sharing posts as well. So here's a guide to the amount of type of sharing you can do. So a lot of people want to share a lot during the day. In my own personal group, I share a lot. On my personal page, I don't share a lot because people go to work, they're busy during the day. So I'd like to share things on my personal feed and my personal brand at times other people's going to be around. So I like to share in the morning when I wake up around 8 o'clock. Make sure there's a post going out, or between 8 and 9. Between 11 and 1 o'clock, anytime between 11 and 1 is good. And then again around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock is a good time because people start moving around. They might have been out for the day, or they might be working from home. And at 5 o'clock they finish. Oh, I'm going to take my phone and just have a look at Facebook, just have a break away. Oh, there's a nice branded post from Reggie or Audrey on there. So I'm going to look at that, what it's all about. So be industry specific. So one post about your business and your industry that you do. Don't just talk about Utopian Global. Utopian Global is not just your brand, it's not just your business, but it's also a part of an industry. Now we cover a bullion industry, we cover a leverage sales industry in Utopian Global. We are marketing platforms, we're a marketing industry, something that's related that can help your audience understand why it's important to work with you. You're not just a person who constantly shares the brand, you're also a person who shares value of why people should look into leverage sales. I love Jim Rohn. I know he's not around anymore, but his post is amazing. If you go onto Facebook, there's a Facebook group for Jim Rohn, and people post every single day nice quotes in there. Use that as a marketing quote because he's a big name in the leverage sales, the network marketing space. Use some of his quotes in it. Inspirational quotes. People love to be inspired. I love to share posts where a homeless person was struggling and a wealthy person helped the homeless person, because that's inspiring. People stop and look at that. I like to do it myself. I like to, when I go, always make sure I've got some paper money in my wallet, because sometimes a homeless person really struggles. I can give a £5 note to or something. So people like stuff like that, to share that on Facebook. You can have motivational quotes, whatever is good. And also something about yourself. It's like I say, when I go walking, I take pictures about me walking. When I sit in the park and take a couple of pictures of the park, take pictures of the canals. People love it because it makes you real. You're not just somebody who's trying to constantly sell to them. You're also showing your life that you're normal. If you go to a restaurant, you have a meal, get a waiter to take a picture with you and who's ever with you at the table with your meal, and come home and write a little post about it. If you're cooking at home, you're cooking something healthy, because we're not just business people. We're also here to look after our health, because the only way we can enjoy our wealth is to stay healthy. So if you have a healthy meal, take a picture of it, or you take maybe a bite, just a funny picture of it, and put it on. And people love stuff like that. It's going to attract people to you. Continue to update the content and connect with other people as very important. We'll talk on Tuesday night how you carry on with the training on how to connect with people on social media and offline, how to talk to people. But continue to update your content. Do not keep the content old. Don't always talk about the same thing. Constantly be reinventing the wheel. People are getting tired in that. That's why if you watch an episode of a TV series on TV, the first season will only be for 5 weeks. And then it will disappear for like 3-4 months, maybe 6 months in some cases. Then it comes back season 2. And then they play a little bit of the trailers of the old stuff just to refresh your memory of what happened previously, so you can watch season 2. So you have to be constantly fresh, because if you constantly have seasons after season come in, people are going to get bored with the show. So that's why on TV they have different shows at different times, different months, so to keep people attached to the box. It's your job to do the same thing with your social media on your phone or on your laptop or your tablet. Is to constantly keep people constantly up to date with fresh content. Look for, also when you look around, look for new people, up and coming stars in your industry. Don't always go back to James Rickard or Mike Maloney, because tons of people seen them. Go and look for the young guys, the young people who's coming up, who's becoming the influencer in that industry, because you're going to get fresh content from there. So update your resume. So that's important, especially if you're on LinkedIn profile. Update your resume. You might think, okay, but a resume is if I apply for a job. Not really. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to have a resume of what you've done in your business before, so you can attract other entrepreneurs, other business people. You can attract people who wants to design things for you, and you can talk to them about your business eventually in a private chat, which we can teach you how to do on Thursday evening. But it's also important to have that a resume. Write your business resume, your entrepreneur resume out, where you started, when you what you achieved in the time as well. And I would say if you're on LinkedIn and you have a profile on LinkedIn, and any of us is on LinkedIn, you're a friend of us on LinkedIn, send us a message to give you a recommendation on LinkedIn. Because the more recommendations you have on LinkedIn, the better your profile is going to rank out. You're going to look more professional. You actually work with other people on LinkedIn, and other business people are going to wonder, is this person the right person for me? I can talk to him and see his references he has on his LinkedIn profile. So social media is very much constantly being different than anybody else. And the only person who can create that difference is you on your own brand. It takes time. I would say get yourself a notebook, write it out, and put it in place. Just a couple of examples. For instance, this is a lady who's into the health industry. So I'm knowledgeable and kind because my audience needs a quick, budget-friendly solution for healthy eating in order to empower people to make a balanced choice for their health and wallets. That's a very exciting headline. It's different than I'm just I'm an online marketer or I'm a network marketer. As soon as you put network marketing, online marketing, and people can think pyramid, scam. She might have a health product she's selling, a health diet plan, which is a network marketing company, but there's nothing telling me around that. This is telling me, oh, she's knowledgeable. She's wants to be kind to the audience, the people like me. She's budget friendly. I want to save money, want to spend money, and I can eat healthy as well for saving money. So she's giving me value immediately in the mission that she has. My audience is working women on a budget. So who's your audience going to be? Teachers, nurses, doctors, my church congregation. Who is your audience that you want to attract? My audience need a quick budget, continuous solution for healthy eating. Look at the wonderful bio she's have here. I share a quick, budget-friendly recipes, meal prep tips, healthy hacks for women on the go. So start thinking what you can do with your bio for Utopian Global. What do? We don't just sell gold, we sell a lifestyle. So focus on the lifestyle. Don't worry about the gold or the silver. That is the product that can help them get the lifestyle. I have a quick, budget-friendly lifestyle creating vehicle that can teach you how to leverage your time and skills, so you can build up on the words. Immediately it's away from the product, it's away from what Utopian Global is. So write down a little bit of this. You can use this as a bit of a tip as well. Write a short bio, and your short bio can go into your Facebook or your LinkedIn. It's a little bit long, but you can Facebook, and you can scroll it down on Facebook and make it a bit smaller. I love this. My award-winning blog. Been featured on numerous popular food sites. Now, if you do start blogging, I can teach you later on about guest blogging and how to get award-winning stuff on your blog. But you can have, as a community that we built in Utopian Global, especially the affiliates group and the influencers group, we can start utilizing that as an award-winning community that we're part of as well. So you can utilize that. It's another example of a gentleman who's in fitness, a fitness guru. His mission is I'm enthusiastic and knowledgeable Because my audience need accurate, compassionate, doable, and fun fitness advice to help each one feel their best. So think of how you can use the lives, as I said, Utopian Global, real assets, real income, real lifestyle. What is your mission, a part of your brand? I've got 4 pillars in my brand, which I focus on and branding around. Let me just see chat. The power of lifestyle. One calls values the company, real asset, real income, real lifestyle. Exactly. So this is just a couple of examples. We're going to make it available. Read through the examples. See on the wordplay that they use, and each one's industry is a little bit different, and how you can change something for your own business. What we can do next Monday, we can maybe sit down and review what you've created, what you've written down, before you post it on Facebook or before you put it on social media. Come and share with us. So this is my colors I selected. This is my font I selected. What do you guys think? Do you think the colors is too bright? The colors is too faint? Is it too matte? Or is it too glossy? Is my bio talking to do you understand my bio which are written here? Do you understand my audience? Because this is what we're here for as a community. When we do these trainings, I can teach you this stuff, you can go away and create it, but you might not get the right feedback. So come back to us, say, next Monday. You've got a week. Create your mission, create your bio, write a short bio, and find some colors that are showed on here as well. And then come back and let's review what we've done. And this is the end of our slides. Any questions?
Yeah, very good, Sean. No, I think it's a really, really great training. And that is really so important for everybody, because this is your business card. This is your profile. This is what people look at you. So you have to get your house in order. You got to have a clean house. And so this is the key before we can learn all the other skills about, the groups working and so on. You got to have your house in order. And then the next skill, of course, is to learn how to talk to people.
Now look at Dr. Blue's logo. I love that. That's brilliant. Mm-hmm. If you can put that, if you have a logo like that and you put it on your social media post using Canva, and other people share it out, they can share out that same brand. If Dr. Blue put that on a motivational quote on a Canva post, Reggie's share it. Reggie's people's going to see, they're going to like the motivational quote, but they're also going to see, oh, there's a logo underneath where Reggie got it from. And that's where most people make the mistake on social media. They will go on to Instagram, or they go, people love the motivation mafia, because they've got a lot of motivational stuff, but the motivation mafia's got their own logo at the bottom of the post. So all you do is you give them free advertising. And we in leverage sales, we are a marketing business. We do not advertise other people's stuff. We only advertise our mission. We collaborate with other people, but we share always our own brand out there. So don't put Utopian Global into post. In my personal closed group, people know I'm doing Utopian Global because they're there for what I do for a business, so they know that I can use it there. But on my personal profile or my fan page, I'm not going to say, oh, Utopian Global is so great and this, because people don't know the company, they don't trust it yet. They will go and Google it and I lose that person, or they'll go find somebody else. They maybe see somebody else doing it and don't like me and go on to that. So always write something generic, something like when we do the training with Claudia on Thursday evenings. Write stuff about, I'm curious, I'm trying to find out. Most people do not save in gold because most people do not see gold as money. Most people think gold is quite heavy to carry in their pockets. Is there a way I can teach you maybe a little bit more about gold so people can come back and ask you questions? Leave it with an open question in your post. Well, I've been on a call, Zoom call like tonight, to take a screenshot of this, posted on your profile page that I've been on a fantastic community hangout. We learned about social media tonight. If you want to learn a bit more about social media, I'm turning into a social media expert. Come and talk to me and I can share what I learned. Because ultimately you want other people to come back to you. So I can talk. Anything else that anyone wants to ask? Reggie, I would like to take a look at my Facebook page. We can do something at some point. We can do that. Good.
Good. All right. Well, okay. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for this training. So let's then next week go ahead and see if you all have the house in order. And we're going to then, after that training, I believe, start with our training on, again, but a second version on our Facebook fan page. I believe this is the next one after, or?
Yeah, I think after that, I think the first thing what we need to do is to make sure everyone understand branding, get the colors and the fonts ready. I'll make a little video on how to use Canva and add it to the group so people can see that as well. Play around with that, get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Because once you get comfortable with that, we can start moving on to a fan page. Because you're going to use your brand on your fan page.
All right. Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much then everybody for being on the call. Somebody wants to say something before we shut off here? And we're gonna of course put it onto YouTube and we're gonna also put it into the group.
I have a question.
Sure. Yeah.
Is Canva a Google specific app, or can you get to it through different ways? So do you have to use Google?
You do not have to use Google. You can use Safari, Firefox. I know most things do not work with Edge. I know Microsoft just released a new version of Edge. If you have an Apple tablet, Apple iPad, or a Google tablet, you can just download the app as a complete separate application to Google.
Okay. Okay, perfect. I have Safari, so that's perfect. Okay, thank you.
Pleasure.
Good.
Right.
So if this training was valuable, what we want, of course, you to do is once we uploaded it, once we put it to the YouTube, that you like and that you comment on it as well, because you got to give some likes, you got to give some comments, because this is important. We want everybody, of course, to listen to it. Also, your new people who come on board, they need to learn that information.
Yep, exactly.
So
thank you, very good.
Sean, sorry.
No, so thank you. We can go.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have all a lovely evening, and don't forget, tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow we have 10 a.m. UK training. This is going to be training. We have 3 p.m. ET, Eastern Standard, corporate presentation. We're going to have our CEO and founder on the call. Then we also have Dr. Blue tomorrow. It's 3 a.m. my time, so I don't think I will be there, but Dr. Blue is doing a training and I think testimonials tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.